Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well, because I am doing absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Not least because I've been on a nice walk this morning. I'm keeping healthy. Yeah, I'm improving my fitness. I'm enjoying my football. My team's winning. You know, my team's winning, and they're doing it in a style that's befitting of this great football club. And as much as some of us like to say that football doesn't affect us mood, but for me it does, like massively. I wish it didn't, but it does. And I feel like hearing the new man speak that my joy is becoming even more. Yeah, it's becoming unbelievable hard. Like, I heard something great this morning about on the LEEDS that podcast from Rocco, and he said, you know, the dislike of Jesse Marsh had nothing to do with Bielsa, even though people used to like say it and say, "Oh, you need to get over Bielsa." The dislike of him because he was a shit, you know, he's a shit, a shit football manager, and you know, a terrible coach, and now I'm starting to fall in love again. Like, I can't lie to you, hearing this man speaking, Daniel Farke, like, it's just amazing. There's so many similarities between how the both of them speak. He plays a certain brand of football as well that I you know, that I love, you know. Like Enzio says, great principles. And the way that he speaks, and we're going to get in, but it's just like everything about the man is just amazing, you know. Like the way that he speaks to the media, the way that he's dealt with the media, both positives and negatives, the way that he's managed the players, you can see that as clear as day. How much he's improved the group in terms of just the camaraderie within it, the happiness that they seem to be playing with, the smiles on faces again. And he's also improved the relationship between the fans and the players. You know, let's not forget, Willie Gnonto refused to play for this football club not too long ago. The way that he managed that whole situation has meant that it's been easy to be okay with him again. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying we have to forgive and all that sort of stuff. It was still out of order. But what I'm saying is the way that he sort of shut that down, the press conference afterwards, you know, and Sam, you're bang on the money. It's about authenticity. And he's authentic, and you believe what he says, and you know he means what he says. And for me, this is a marriage that ain't gonna fail. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's just the perfect, harmonious appointment that Leeds United needed in the situation that we were in. And the baton, for me, minus the car salesman in the middle and a few others, has been correctly passed on. And yeah, like for me, you know, I'm a passionate guy. I'm a passion merchant. I love Leeds United so much. I was on record as saying, like, you know, the ones that my ex-partner who are separated with, one of the things she said to me in one of our spats, like, and you know what? I fucking hate Leeds. That gives you a sort of like impact is like what it is in all our lives, right? And I speak so passionately and deeply about him. Some people, it's only football. Oh, it's only a manager maybe getting upset after Bielsa went and that. Maybe for you, not for me. We're all different, right? We're all different. And hearing the man speak with some of the things that he was saying, I started to feel it again. I can't even lie. I felt it in the feels. I was like, oh no, it's happening again. Everyone keeps saying you're booking that tattoo, but you know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Oh, there was so much he said. So much he said. That like I'm just, for me, I hang on it on his every word. Do you know what I mean? We can love again. Do you know what I mean? That's what it feels like. Yeah, it's amazing. It's great to see, like, Leeds United straight away. This is what I'm saying, like, straight away on it. Yeah, we're having that soundbite. These are all things that help fans, football club. It's all just working in tandem again. And this is one of the things that he said. Look, folks, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the press conference, we'll go through his words. But, you know, the press conference finished straight away. Leeds United are like, let's get that clipped up, get it out there. Now, for them, it's propaganda, but it works, man. It works. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not just sound bites. It's not just bullshit. Oh, this player's the best I've ever trained with. This player's the best captain I've ever seen. This guy's. Do you know what I mean? It was all words. This is meaningful. Do you know what I mean? He says, I want to do my best to make our fans proud. The bond between the fans and the players is most important. If they urge me to do the wave after a game, they deserve what I do because they are priceless. More important than any player, coach, or sporting director. Our fans are top class, and we have to work to be on that level too. Like, as a fan, you know, you can't help but lap that up. Give it me. I'll take it in spades. Do you know what I mean? I'll take it in spades and I'll run with it straight to tattoo parlor. Do you know what I mean? You're unbelievable hard. And genuinely, as the press conference finished, I just made myself a brew before I came live. I had a big grin. I had a massive grin. Because this is what can happen when your football club is going in the right direction. You feel it, you know? You feel it. And like with anything, right? Like Bielsa hid all the bad things that were going on. I can forgive a few wrong decision and all that sort of stuff. I can forgive it all a little bit and forget it when we're winning football matches and we're doing it in a certain style and your manager's talking like this. You know? There was absolutely loads, he said. And before we get into like players and all in setups and Hull City, I just want to focus on a few of them things. You know what the mad thing is? Like, people were saying after my press conference, it's great to see you happy. Not press conference, after my post match, it's great to see you happy again. Who is this Joe? Because obviously a lot of people won't have seen it, but that was me, the Bielsa era. You know, that was me in the Bielsa era. And now it's like, I feel like it's going to come back again, and I'm here for it. And I love it. You know, I love it unbelievable hard. Genuinely. Alison, you missed most of it. Stay with me and then go watch it back because it was brilliant. So he was asked, and I'm going to jump forward, but he was asked about Leeds fans enjoying the football and how important is that for him and for them, etc. And how important is it to you as a manager? And for him, it's how football should be played, right? Every manager has a different ethos. He wasn't saying that if you play low block, if you play long ball, that makes it worse. That's not how football works, right? Everyone has their own certain style and their own brand, yeah? But he said, you know, in effect, one shoe doesn't fit all, which you have to agree. You know, there is a number of ways to skin a cat, as the saying goes. But he said, you know, you have to stick to your principles. He said, you're not like a flag in the wind, you know, left and right. For me, like we would say flip-flop, right? You don't flip-flop. But then he started going about like football is for the fans. This is why we play the game. Forget the business and the money. You know, he understands it's important in today's game. But the most important topic is the fans, and we play for them. We entertain them. Are you not entertained? You know, he said I mentioned like we all need to enjoy it, like a job, right? You know, like a job. If we enjoy our jobs, he spoke about hard work, commitment, unity. This is what these fans want. We've heard it from Bielsa, man. It's the same. You know, it's the same stuff that's coming out of his mouth. And, you know, before, even at Norwich, you could tell that this guy was you know, a great guy, a great manager, you know. You could tell that. Let's not forget, Daniel Farkes stormed the league in Bielsa's first season. Question marks still over the Premier League, but I think under Leeds United's guys and transfer activity and stuff, he'll do much better. But in the Championship, he stormed the league. He's no joke. Like, it's so funny now as well. And listen, I know we're 6 games in and people are telling me to calm down. But those who have watched the press conference, maybe just throw away comments. Watch the press conference and tell me to calm down because it's amazing. But I just feel this is only going one way, people. This is only going one way. Everything feels right again. And he's done this in such a short space of time. Again, like another man that came before, under tough circumstances. And it's, you know, he said it, like, we're unbeaten in 4. Forget about that. To go unbeaten in the Championship's good. You're getting points on the board. You're moving in the right direction. This, for me, is only going one way. And it's going towards promotion. And I'll say it with chest now. With only 6 games played, we are going to go up. I say it with chest. Clip it up. We are going to go up. I even think we'll win the league. I said that before the season, and then you know the way all just went. But this is. I just feel that this now will be a runaway train. I feel like it'll be a runaway train. I think we'll go on a run. I think we'll go on a run. And I think once this club starts to go on that run, it's going to be hard for it to stop. Especially under Daniel Farkes' tutelage. Because he's well equipped, because he's done it twice. He's done it twice. He's the most, him and Mick McCarthy are the most successful Championship managers ever. And if he does it this time, he'll become the number one most successful Championship manager ever. You know? So, yeah, Andy, I'm being real though, bro. You know that anyway. You know that. We have every reason now, like, to you know, even look at Jamie Dixon. Jamie Dixon's feeling it too, my guy, as well. He said tomorrow will be tough, but I fancy us to go on a winning run. Now think about where we all were. And look at how it's changed. Because getting through the month and moving in the right direction. Robin says it's not just Daniel, it's the whole new owner league. No. I'm not doing that. Because we all said that under the previous regime. It's not. Like he, for me, is the guy that's leading this ship. Everything else is insignificant to me. The most important. Yeah, no, I hear it, Jamie. I wasn't digging you out, broski. The most important thing is the man that's the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship. And he's the one steering it. Because we've already seen, if you remove the captain of the ship, it can go to shit. So before I laud praise on those that are working behind the scenes, time is needed. Time is needed, for me anyway, for them bridges to be re-erected. That's the right word. Because they were burned, and they still are burned. But Daniel Farkes come into a shit situation, dealt with it amicably, hasn't thrown his toys out of the pram like, you know, like Neil Warnock's done at Huddersfield, etc., as other managers would have done. and he's just got down to brass tacks and got it. He hasn't made one wrong turn yet. He hasn't made one wrong turn yet. Look at his handling of the Willie Gnonto situation. For me, it's phenomenal because we all just went, okay, after his press conference, all right. Do you know what I mean? And it could be, you know, he could have sat there and mentioned his agent and that. Because I'm thinking about say if Big Sam was here. Say if Big Sam would have stayed on. He'd have been digging out the agent and all that sort of stuff, creating it, making it worse. Daniel Farke kept it all in house. You best believe behind the scenes he was kicking off. Do you know what I mean? But we didn't need to see that. Strange name. Member for 13 months. Big up to you. Thank you for supporting the channel over a year now. Boss spoke well. Gave nothing away tactically, but explained much like a manager. Yeah, exactly, bro. For someone who was so wedded and in love with Bielsa, I can see the similarities. They're seeping through. They're seeping through. You can see it. You know, it's just so nice for me to see. Yep, I hear it. Low block. Let's see. Let's wait and see. Maybe Joe get carried away, whatever. But you know what I'm like. But I think there is ample reason, ample reason to get carried away. Like I did a video yesterday speaking about, the relationship with the fans. And the mad thing is I got a text off my friend and he said, you know what? He said, I fucking love Farke. And I said to him, mate, have you seen the post-match? Not the post-match. I've seen afterwards when he goes over to the fans. He went, yeah, I've just watched it. That's why I've just said it. But that's the thing, you see. And then obviously Phil Hay poses the question to him at the end of the press conference about that relationship with the fans, which prompted the answer that we've just seen on Twitter. So the media see it as well. And social media will just be, trust me when I say social media is about to get a happy place for us Leeds fans. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because it's been rough. It's been rough. It's been rough making content. Not anymore. I honestly, it's mad. We beat Wolves and people might say you're being gassed, but it just feels, this ain't just the win. It's like, I can feel it changing. I can feel it changing. HMS is about to be boarded. And I'm there and I'm here for it. For those that haven't seen his comments in response to that question, he said, I want to do my best to make our fans proud. The bond between the fans and the players is most important. If they urge me to do the wave after a game, they deserve that. I do this because they are priceless, more important than any player, coach, or sporting director. And our fans are top class and we have to work to be on that level too. How can you not like the man? Everyone is in like loving him again, or in love. Someone's just said, why did we have to pass through Mordor for the last 18 months in order to come to the rightful heir? But it's true, because I genuinely feel now this is the rightful heir to the throne. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel. So, yeah, man. There's loads. Yeah, the title. Yeah, Pele says Locks will be in tears. The title is gone. Get the engraver booked in early. You'll probably get it cheaper. EFL. Get the engraver booked in early and get it sorted. This is a lot, Rob, to do with systems though, and how teams come up to play against you. But the positive thing is, folks, the next three work in our favour. Work in our favour. Hull will want to play. Adam Pope posed the question about the style. They'll want to play football. It's going to suit Leeds United. Watford will be the same. And then we know how Southampton play. I was speaking to a Southampton fan before this from Give Me Sport. And yeah, it's not looking good for them right now defensively, is it? So, but I think as well, what we haven't faced a low block after the international break. Let's see how we do then. Do you know what I mean? We played Sheff Wednesday, low block, transfer window just shut. Let's not forget the transfer window had shut the night before, so a bit all over the shop. Whereas now it's all focus. There is only focus on game to game to game. No worry about transfer window now until January. Game to game to game to game. So now, you know, with the help of because the thing is, as much as I hate them, October and November, we've got 2 more international breaks, which is more time on the training pitch to come up with plans. We have a better squad. Look at the subs, man. Look at the subs. On the weekend, we brought on Gruyev, we brought on Kamara, we brought on Dan James and Jadon Anthony. They start. You know, they start. Bryn, what are you on about? Stop providing your past supporters when Joe was just. Bryn, I don't know what you're on about, bro. I genuinely don't know what you're on about. If you're stressed about something, tell me what. You looked and wasted time in a negative just before. I don't know what you're on about, bro. Just be happy, bro. Like, I'm happy. I want you to feel that too, Bryn. Don't try bring it down. I don't know what you're going on about. Just enjoy the moment, bro. Okay. So yeah, absolutely loads. Absolutely loads. So we move. Right. Okay. Let's move out. Let's move out. Team news. Okay. So Firpo still out. I don't know what's going on there, but look, at the end of the day, we have Zinchenko. We have Zinchenko in Sam Byram. Yeah, we're okay for now. Yeah. Bamford's back in team training. I seen someone put in the comments just a second ago, that's the only negative. It's not a negative. Take off your agenda. It's not a negative, it's positive. The great thing is as well, no longer do we have to have the whole press conference be focused about whether or not Patrick Bamford's going to be fit. Will we have a striker? Will we have to play Dan James up there? When's Paddy coming back? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a positive because he's able to manage him. He's back in team training. When was Bamford at his best? When he had competition. When he had competition in Rodrigo. He'll now be given time to get back to a certain level and be given sparing minutes. And a fit, firing Bamford is a great player to have at this level. Trust me. He's not going to play in these games, but Daniel Farkes said himself he's a major boost. He's a major boost. Ampadu, there was concerns maybe that he might miss out. He did get a knock, obviously, but he did say, you know, with the knock and a quick turnaround, you know, rightly to be concerned, but it's improved over the last 24 hours. He also said he's Welsh, he's tough, he should be all right. You know what I mean? So he's going to endear himself to the Welsh fans there as well. But he literally said, look, Ampadu's Welsh, he's tough, nothing to worry about. So Ethan Ampadu probably will start again, which is great and music to my ears because he's absolutely unreal. He was asked if he'd be reluctant to change because of the form and because we're doing well and beaten in 4, whatever it is now. He said, yes, of course, I'm reluctant to change when you're winning games, but we have so much quality. And I mentioned the bench options that we do have. You know, and he also said he's not overly concerned about this turnaround, which made me think maybe it'll be unchanged. He literally said, I'm not too concerned about this turnaround, but we do have to look at the bigger picture. And he said, you know, we've got 3 games in 6 days. But he did say we won't change loads, but I think he will make little tweaks. But he made a point and said, I'm not too concerned right now, but what he is doing, and this is where his experience comes in, having won this division twice over, he'll be looking at the massive picture, you know, he'll be looking at the whole 46 games, you know, and say, all right, okay, I'm not too concerned about them now because they're really fit, but what will they be like towards the back end of the season? So if I rest them now, it'll save them for that. Do you know what I mean? You know, he was asked then as well about the difference between the Norwich team and this team, and if he can see similarities, etc. And he said it's too early for us to say. But we're 4 games unbeaten now. We've got 2 clean sheet. The spirit and togetherness is great, and we can see that as a fan. We can see that, folks. Like, we can see it being fostered in the grounds with the away support on social media. That's what I'm saying. It's all good. We are on the right path, but we must keep going. We must keep going, and we will. I'm under no illusions that we will. He was asked if something was beginning to start now. Can he feel it? And he said, look, I keep my feet on the ground there or thereabouts. The championship is relentless. We have to stay focused, no doubt. You know, we have to stay focused. Adam Pope asked him about Hull and the style that they play. And I've said I feel that the style will suit Leeds United. He said, look, I like what they're doing. They're a possession side. He liked what Liam Rossini is doing. And I think Liam Rossini is rightly getting a lot of flowers. He says we just have to be quality off and on the ball, and we will be ready, which I agree with. He was asked about Meslier and Strauch. Graham Smith asked him this question about them lacking confidence, and did you detect that, and how did you deal with it? Because if we now look at Meslier and Strauch, they're totally different. And what it triggered in me, and maybe that's why he was asking the question. If you remember, Ilian Mellier's thoughts. Yeah, we're going to Hull, aren't we, Jamie? We're going to Hull. We're playing away, bro. We're not at home. I think Ilian Meslier in the press conference, not the press conference, in the podcast he did with Leeds United, he was asked, who do you like to see in your backline? And he mentioned Pascal Strauch, his best friend. Do you know what I mean? He said, oh, my best friend, Pascal, mon baby, all this sort of stuff, right? And then when you think about the confidence that them two, and the dip in confidence, if you think they're best friends as well, they're also leaving the football ground or leaving training together or whatever and spending time together. And also confidence breeds confidence, but unconfidence also breeds unconfidence. And if them two are sat having a coffee, chatting over it, oh mate, blah, 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 it just it amplifies it, right? So the fact that they're now both feeling great again and playing great again, which they are, you can see a marked improvement with both their performances. So Daniel Farkes obviously worked on that, and he said, look, it's normal after relegation, especially with lots of criticism, but that criticism was fair because they weren't good. But there are a number of ways to improve, but it starts with hard work. This is the important thing. It always starts with hard work when it comes to, Daniel Farke. He talked about being brutally honest with them as well, about areas they need to improve. He's not just putting the arms around them and telling them everything's great, like one Jesse Marsh fucking did, But he said, they'll also get my backing. And this is the thing about man management, isn't it? This is the thing about man management. Look at his comments on Jamie Shack, and we're going to talk about them in a sec. But Jamie Shack got dropped, yeah? And he gave his reasonings for that. But then the way that he spoke on Jamie Shack after that, Jamie Shack's seen that. Jamie Shack's seen that, he's hearing that, and he's walking on water. He's floating in the air. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is how good he is. He's great at man management as well. Which you could argue, maybe at times that's something Bielsa might have lacked. That personal touch. You don't have to have it, because I've been listening. As you know, I listen to a lot of content. I've heard a podcast about Ange Postecoglou, and he has a bit of that. Yeah, I'm your friends, and that I'll back you, but don't cross the line. And I feel that Daniel Farke is a bit like that as well. Whereas maybe sometimes Bielsa was a bit aloof. The only real time they saw Bielsa, not the mask, but the I guess was when we got promoted, when he was cuddling Tyler, Calvin, Manford, that's it. These are the only times. Whereas Daniel Farke, I feel they probably could go to and a little bit more personable. So yeah, he says there are a number of ways to improve. Starts with hard work, but they'll get my back in. And all I can think when he speaks like this is like, you're unbelievable hard. He was then asked about players that don't get in the match day squad by Baron Cross, and he said, look, I need to make sure everyone is there. We've got 30 players, especially young players like JB, etc. They might get minutes with the 21s, as will other players. Do you know what I mean? As will other players who won't be getting minutes, just to keep them right. But I think that, again, the differences as well, difference would be else. Like Daniel Farke will use his squad. He'll use it all. Then Then we got onto the Shackleton stuff, as Andy says. How did you deal with dropping him? He says, it's my job. Yeah, you have to do this. Mentioned about us having 30 players, 4 goalkeepers, etc. It's part of the territory. It comes with the job. It can't be easy. It can't be easy. Who wants to tell someone, listen, you're not playing after a great performance? Whatever job you work in, you might have a colleague or whatever. Who wants to tell them, oh, listen, I can't give you any work today or whatever? You know, it's true. And yeah, he said, listen, it's my job. You have to do this, but everyone is just important. No matter how many minutes they play, we need them all. And he went on to talk about, like, he was speaking about if you play 90 minutes, if you play 5 minutes and you come in and you keep the ball in the corner, that's just as important as someone who's played 90 minutes. Just, again, he'll be going with that same ethos, same attitude in and around Thorpe Arch, around the players, keeping everyone on board. That's so important. Look, I always look at Pep. Look how many players Pep has. Look at the quality of players that he has, and he's able to keep them all happy. And if you ain't happy, he will bin you off. If you do question him, look at Joao Cancelo. He was one of the best left backs, left or right back, full back in world football. Spoke out, you're on your way. And I feel that Daniel Farke will have a little bit of that about him. But look at Jurgen Klopp, for example, as well. It's in terms of keeping players happy, and it's hard to do because if you compare it with them clowns across the Pennines, you've got their players coming out to social media talking about Erik ten Hag. So, you know, it's a skill. It's a skill. So him speaking like this impressor, you know that's then echoed in and around the training pitch and keeping people just floating. Look at Rutter. Look at the smile on his face compared to last season. Rutter had interest from Europe. We have that on record. He stayed. He wanted to stay. I think a lot of that will be down to Daniel Farke. You will see come January as well. Nonto and Cole will want to stay because we'll be flying. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. The mad thing is, I did an interview with Give Me Sport before coming on here. There'll be a few news pieces, so watch out for them. But think about next, just to jump ahead, Everton are in dire straits. If they come down, right, then what for Jack Harrison? Do you know what I mean? I wonder if they're looking at, I've made the wrong move here. What have I done? Do you know what I mean? It's the same. You could argue even with Cine. Do you know what I mean? It's all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, they made the wrong decision. It is what it is. So in terms of why he made that change for Jamie Shackleton, he said we needed the experience of Byram, long balls, etc. Jamie's only small as well. Remember, I explained this to Jamie. You know, I also didn't want to take risks with his shoulder. And again, this is important when I was saying about he's looking at the bigger picture, because it was quite interesting, his thought process behind dropping Shackleton, because he said, basically, as we know, Jamie Shackleton's a Swiss Army knife. He can play anywhere, right? But if you look at the fullback options, he basically said Firpo's out, Ayling's not getting any younger, Jed Spence is out, and he had an issue with his shoulder. Now, had I have played him after he got an issue with his shoulder and he gets injured, I then only have Byram and Ayling. Whereas if I rest him, give time, I've got Byram, Ayling and Shaq. Do you know what I mean? So I could understand his logic behind it. But he said I didn't want to take risks with his shoulder, but also wanted to use the experience of Byram. Not many options, as I've just mentioned. Great squad management for me personally. And then he went on to eulogise on Jamie Shackleton. I love him. I love the way he can play every position, give his best, even in goalkeeper. And he's got like a little bit of comedic value for me. He's got good humour because he said, look, even if he went in goalkeeper, regardless of his stature, he would still surprise us by claiming a few crosses. Do you know what I mean? Because he's that in. And he said, you know, he'd even win crosses. I know this. He is so important as well because his mentality is amazing. There was people who questioned his mentality about wanting him to sign a new deal, which is mental for me. Because as Daniel Farke says, he lives and breathes and loves this club each and every day. And he is an unbelievable player for us. So imagine, imagine what that's done for Jamie. That man's walking out of Thorpe Arch on cloud nine. His family are big Leeds fans. His mum's probably seen that, reading that, passing it on to him. It's great. It just fosters. And this is a guy that's not going to get loads of minutes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's just great. Then he was asked about the great relationship with the crowd, which I've already shared with you. But, you know, he said, I don't think too much about this. I just work hard for this team. I have to be there 100%. I'm so appreciative to work for such an unbelievable club. That's what I love as well. He genuinely feels privileged to be in this position. I want to make them proud, the supporters, to have a great relationship. I want to make sure the supporters and the players have a great relationship again. They are priceless. They're our biggest asset. They're more important for anyone. He said, for my supporters. This is what he said, for my supporters. They belong to our group, not just the staff, the players, me, the fans as well. They are top class. Oh, you know me, I'm like that. Yes, Daniel. I'm hanging on your every word, you know. And then Phil, to get serious again, just said to him, at what stage do you start to check where you are? Obviously, Christmas in the Premier League, isn't it? It's different in the Championship. You play 46 games. But he says, you know, we never obsessed about the table. We never obsessed about the table. But we're not scared or fearful of it. We talk about it behind the scenes. But we just need to deliver performances, and the league will take care of itself, which is so true. Which is so true. And yeah, I mean, my guy, Abdul Rahman Al Khalifi. I love you, broski. Thank you so much. Welcome salam, mate. Salam alaikum, he says. Welcome salam, Joe. Salam alaikum, welcome salam. He says, been traveling, but still kept in touch watching. This gift is for our 3-0 winner, keeping a clean sheet 2 games in a row. Can't remember the last time we did that. MOT, Leeds. Abdul Rahman Al Khalifi pops in every now and again and just does this. And what a guy. I'm so grateful and appreciative for that support, makes it works wonders. And, you know, enables me to improve the content. And even when I've got a leak in the ceiling, for example, I've got little extra bits, which means I can do it in the front room and all that sort of stuff. So know that it all goes to a good place. But you're a top guy, mate, and I hope you're enjoying your travels. And yeah, may Allah take care of you, my broski. Okay, top guy. Yeah, it's just amazing. And the mad thing is, yeah, like just the whole atmosphere improves. Trust me. For those that are just like Dan Moylan said in the match ball, for our new fans, because you're always getting new fans, right? Especially because some will have come with Jesse and stayed. Some will have come with Brendan, Tyler, Mark Rocker. It happens, yeah. Some will have come and stayed, right? And then, like Dan Moylan, who I love, by the way, top guy. Again, look at me. I just love everyone right now, yeah. For all here, wherever I am in the world, I breathe Leeds United 24 hours a day. Inshallah, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. But what I'll say is, like, he said, this happens. We do this, you know. We can win games 3-0. And for those that are new watchers of me, like, genuinely, I don't want to come on here and be negative. And people say for negative, it ain't about that for me. It ain't about, what I'm going to be negative because people will watch. It's never been about that for me. Those that watch me during the BL, like All Leeds TV really ballooned or started in the Bielsa era, and as did a lot of podcasts, because it really made you fall in love. I think there was only Square Ball before that. There was LS11. I remember Talking Shut. Big shout out them lads. Big up Gary Dev. And then All Leeds TV, and I went there, and it was like 5 years ago now, yeah. And then, like, I was like this, and I feel it's coming back, and I'm so happy. You do not understand how happy this makes me. Bro, Danny, I'm not... honestly, I had to go to the doctors today. A mile, right? It's raining. I said, you know, I'm walking it, man. I don't care. I got there, I'm pissed. Oh, you wet through? I said, don't worry about it, man. It's fine. I walked an hour back. I'm off here. I finished this. When I walk the dogs for an hour. It's just happiness. I feel happy again. I'm at football club. it's a good thing and a bad thing because, you know, I can, yeah. Jay, big up Jay. He says, as content creators, we can only comment on what's happening in front of us. When it's good, it's good. But yeah, exactly. Exactly, bro. Yeah, that's so true. But people don't, reactionary, this, that, this. But yeah. Jamie, I can't. You know me. You know me, broski. I can't. This is the mad thing. We've only won 2 games. But having seen us at Millwall, the style that we played, having seen the fans' reaction to certain players now, and relationships are coming again. Look at Rutter loving. You know, we're seeing it again. We're feeling it again. Yeah. Look at the way we feel towards the manager. Hearing his words has just made me like, woof, again. And I'd look to I genuinely believe now this is as I said, I've said it on a number of times throughout. This is a train that's going to be hard to stop now. It's going to be a train that's going to be hard to stop. I'm just so happy. No, Jamie. No. Okay, context. Not as much as this. I hear you. I do. But what you need to understand is a lot of that was copium from what had just come before. Because that guy, genuinely, I really dislike him. I really dislike what he did. So to get Javi, I was like, oh yeah, this is great, but it wasn't great. But you know, this is different, broski, and you know it too. Everyone knows it. Everybody saying. I'm not allowed to do that anymore, actually, because I've seen someone doing it on Twitter, and it was just it was so funny. Man United fan going, let me talk to you. I was like, oh god, I do that. I need to stop doing it. Yeah, man. But times are good. Times are good. Yeah. Sam, imagine. Post match. I was wrong. Nah, the good times are rolling, man. I feel it. Of course, we'll lose games. You know, we're not going to go unbeaten, are we? But and we might lose Wednesday, but it ain't going to stop this. Because we're on. It's on. Do you know what I mean? Definitely not. Definitely not, Jamie. I'm telling you. But listen, if we lose, obviously it's different, innit? But we're all here for the emotions, FC. That's what I am, innit? Is what it is. Listen, today's jam packed. Actually, this week's jam packed. Like it don't stop. It don't stop on the Just Joe Football Show at the minute, and I'm just so glad because it helps put a roof over my head. To be honest, that as well as I just love doing content. You know, and being able to create content and have people watch. It's just amazing. Stream, phone's ringing. That's getting declined. But yeah, listen, I'm going to be back actually at 5:40 because AC Milan versus Newcastle. Thoughts and prayers to the Newcastle fan, by the way. Really saddened to hear that. We know all too well. The mad thing is as well, right? And the reason I want to follow Newcastle through this journey is I feel like they're going to have a LEEDS style impact on the Champions League. I think they're going to go far, and I'd like to follow the progress. Having been out of it for quite some time, I genuinely feel they're going to go far. The league, you know, there's a lot of similarities with the thing, and they're playing Milan on the evening where Lee Boyer scored the goal in the San Siro. Do you know what I mean? So like, and Dida made that error. So I just feel there's a lot of similarities, and I actually feel that Newcastle are going to go pretty far. So, and I want them to do well. So at 5:40, I'm going to be live. We're going to do AC Milan versus Newcastle watch along. Don't fancy any of the 8 o'clockers, to be honest. City are playing. I don't even know the name of the team. They're probably going to win about 6-0. It's going to be a thing. But we will be live after. We will be live after the Champions League games for your big match preview live for Hull City with myself, Andrea, and Lockie. Sorry, my mind's all over. And then tomorrow we've got Hull Leeds. Then we've got Thursday presser, White Rose Rivals at 6. Final word at 8. Then we've got big match preview Friday. Then it's Leeds Watford, and yeah, it's just jam packed this week. So please do. Yeah, they haven't got City have got a mad team, you know. Who Man City playing? They're playing Crevena Zedzava. I don't even know what division, what league. I feel really bad for saying that, but the Serbian. I mean, it's not very often you get Serbian teams in the Champions League, is it? To be fair, so yeah, I just think City are going to steamroll them about 8-0 or something probably. But Jamie, 33-1 for City to lose, back it, but they're not going to, are they? It's going to be mad, that one. But Newcastle's group's brilliant as well, like as a spectacle in terms of who they're going up against. Obviously, Newcastle have PSG, Dortmund, and AC Milan. I mean, it's pretty special. It's pretty special. I think that's going to be a decent team for us to follow. You know, so yeah, there you go. Loads to do. So if you haven't already, that is Serbian for Red Star. That's not Red Star Belgrade, is it? Why are they not called Red Star Belgrade then? Is it Friday the press? I said that, man. Oh, no, you told me I'd have put it in as Thursday. Yeah, my bad. Let me change that. I've changed that, Danny. Thank you. Yeah. Listen, thank you for watching. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to quickly make myself a little wrap and then take these dogs out on a nice long walk. And then I'll be back, like I say, 5:40. We will be there for Newcastle versus Red Star Belgrade, apparently. And then, yeah, and then we'll be back after the Champions League games at 10 o'clock, because I do want to watch them, to do the big match preview live. Thank you, Jamie, for watching. So thank you for the stream, and thank you for watching. Dogs are gorgeous. Yeah, they're asleep over there now. Look, but they're about to be taken on a walk. There they are. Look, there's the lads. They've ruined my couch, by the way. They've done that on them both. Like Billy, for whatever reason, doesn't sleep on the couch. He climbs on the fucking cushion. So that cushion and the one behind me is battered. But yeah. Yeah, anyway, we move. Listen, thanks as always for watching. Abdul Rahman Al Khalifi, thank you very much for your super chat, broski. It means a lot. And thank you to each and every one of you. It's not even a case of like just being here, liking the video, viewing the content is amazing. So thank you all for being here, making it all possible. The good times are in, and they're about to start rolling and not stop. So I'll see you tonight. I'll see you tonight at 5:40 for Newcastle versus AC Milan, which will be a tough evening for them. Of course, we know all too well as Leeds fans. You know, someone being hurt. I'm not sure. Is the Newcastle fan okay? Or I know that he's been. I don't like to talk about it, but is he okay? Does anyone know? I need to. Should have checked that really. Just have a look. Just see if he's in a stable condition. 58-year-old, 58-year-old, stable condition. Okay. So 58-year-old man. I mean, that's old guy, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's in a stable condition. So, but it's still going to be a tough evening for the players, in it, having to deal with that situation, for the fans, etc. I hope Newcastle batter them. And I think they will win. I do think they will win. I think both teams will score, but I think Newcastle will see it out. I think all eggs will be in that basket for Newcastle, to be honest. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a beat, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out now, folks. All love. Oh, yeah. There we go.